Good evening. This is Carson Clutie at 9 o'clock on the night that this assignment is due. I'm hoping that I'm doing this so late that nobody actually listens to this, but on the off chance that you do, I'll try and impart my little wisdom that I know about Google Calendars and even less wisdom that I know about Outlook. Part of the reason why I'm waiting so late to do this assignment is procrastination, and I'm readily willing to admit that. But another reason is also because calendars is probably the Google application that I'm least familiar with. I use it frequently in our school. Our school is a Google school, and I'll get to that in a second. But um, I utilize Docs and other applications within Drive much more frequently than I do with Calendar. So part of my reason was also just hesitation and my lack of knowledge on this subject. But I want to talk about my experience with Google and how my district utilizes it. First of all, we are a Google school, so we make use of all the available Google apps within Drive and really anything we get our hands on. It helps our school because sharing from the office, whether it's our secretary or our principal or even our superintendent, they all have different calendars that are shared with each individual teacher. This shows up as a different colored calendar when you look at the calendar, in a month view or in a week view. So you can easily separate out what is yours, what is the other teachers, what is the administration's based on that color. The picture on the right goes along with my second bullet point in terms of Google Classroom. As soon as you create a class on Google Classroom, it automatically creates a calendar. That calendar is also shared with any student that signs up for your class. This makes it really, really simple for them to remember due dates and even for parents to get on and possibly check what assignment their son or daughter may have. Since our school is just a Google school, we do not utilize a traditional LMS such as Canvas or Blackboard or anything like that. That means since each teacher kind of uses Classroom, parents don't necessarily have a voice, or excuse me, not a voice, but um, a window into the classroom to see what their kids are doing on a day-to-day basis. Especially if you have a parent who is on top of things and makes sure that their child is getting their homework done. So if they have access to calendar by their son or daughter's account, they can see what assignment is due on what day. Do they have any homework that day and things like that. So I do like that feature of calendars, especially that over Outlook, because I don't think Outlook has anything that would do that, such as how Google Calendars interacts with Google Classroom. So as you can see here on the right, I have my American history for 11th grade, 8th grade, current events, and my two geography sections. I created two sections for that, so there's two different calendars. That way, if we do something different first and eighth period, it shows up in their calendars uh, as as that. Also, our school utilizes Google Calendars by sending out notifications. First of all, for formal, I said interviews, I meant formal observations. Our new principal this year will send a Google invite for a specific day, and it's up to us to respond to her in our calendar invite on what time we would like her to come in, or what class periods, what we're looking at. We also use it to schedule meetings. That way, we don't have to track down every teacher that's supposed to be involved in meetings. And this, along the same lines, our special ed department utilizes Google Calendar and inviting people to various IEPs that we have. This helps keep all the teachers on the same page, and it also sets us up with reminders as well. This next screen that you're looking at is what my Google Calendar from my school, as you can see up here, looks like. Will be the first to admit that I think our school overuses Google Calendar. I have, on any given day, three or four different colors depending on the calendar that I've imported. I have my, as it says here, all school calendar, desk or activities, facility use calendar. I think they've kind of gone overboard in that regard, but still, it has, even with all that information on this page, it has helped me stay more organized and at least see what's going on in an average day at my school. The biggest difference, I believe, with Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar, as I'll show you in a second, is simply aesthetics. It's you can do most of the same things. I don't know who stole from who or who gave the idea to who, but the majority of the tasks involved in each calendar can actually be done in the other. I'll be the first to admit I'm not an expert in Outlook. I'm not an expert in Google Calendar. I encourage the teachers that I try and help with technology to admit their shortcomings, and I'm doing that here with you. In that I admit Outlook is not something that I'm that familiar with, so I don't have a wealth of knowledge in that. However, I'll show you a few simple things on how to create an event on a given day. If you want to go to a quick view, you just have to double tap a date, and up comes a page on how to add a event. So this is using my own personal calendar. So if I just create a sample task or sample event on a given day, you can see all the different options. Um, the biggest one is, I can have it be an all day thing. And if I don't click all day, I can click the specific time. So if it's just a meeting from here it is 10 to 10:30, that's there. Or if it's, a multi-hour thing, I can change the time on that. That makes it handy to know where, it marks on your own whole calendar. It'll mark the whole day if you click all day or the specific time period if that's what you want. Um, there's other things with this that I like. The biggest thing is the notifications. You can in the settings change that you can have it sent, an email sent to you, which is helpful for me. Especially on say Monday morning meetings. Oftentimes on the weekend I'll forget that I'm supposed to be at work at 7:15 or 7:30. So I'll have an email notification sent to me the day before on Sunday night at 6:30 or 7. So that way before I go to bed, which is not at 6:30 or 7, but before I go to bed, I'll look and see that email notification, give me that extra reminder to make sure that I'm on time. It's saved me several times this semester alone, and definitely lots of times throughout the year. When I create an event, I like that I can invite others. So all I have to do is right here, and here comes, which I'll give me their email addresses away. Here comes a whole bunch of people I can, so I'll just add myself on a different email account. I can add them, I can add myself, and that will send me on my other email, will send me a notification that I'm adding guests to this event. It's easy. It makes it so that you don't have to track down a whole bunch of people, and it's all right in one place. Moving on, there's a whole lot of other things you can do with this. This is just a brief overview of Google Calendar. Another way, obviously, is just to click the create button. This is the simple version. In terms of it doesn't take up your whole page, you can do a quick little event right here. And of course, there's always the more options button, which we just went to. Looking real fast at Outlook, as you can see here, the aesthetics are a little different. Everything's a little more blocky. Google, it looks like, went for the softer with the round edges here. They went for the softer approach. Outlook is just your basic model. Everything's squared off. As you can see here, you can also have various other calendars. You can have my calendar. I just made a test calendar here real fast. If I create a new event, I can double click a date, just like I can in Google, or click new event and it does the same thing. So like I said, I don't know who copied who, but there it is. When creating event, same thing, you can add a title, add a location. Um, you can also, as I said, I'm definitely not an expert in this, but you can add people as well. Right here, invite attendees. Um, I'll be honest, I don't know if you can go cross-platform. I don't know if I can go from Outlook to Gmail. My guess would be no, but then again, that probably is something they've thought of. The biggest thing that, two big things that make me appreciate Google Calendars more than Outlook. Number one, while I do have other uses for Outlook, it just simply cannot compete with the Google suite of tools that I use in school, all under my one Google account, my Docs, my Drive, my Sheets, everything. And the last thing that I really like about Google is it is school wide, so it makes it easy going from teacher to teacher, and everybody's on the same page.